Okay, this is my report, part one of my report on the data dump from our City Hall mole agent Clerk. About 10 days ago, someone inside the city sent over a bag of documents. He or she saw this article in which I appeal for information on Mount Zhao, megaliths, and the Hibagon, your Japanese Bigfoot. And he or she sent over a shopping bag full of documents, about 200 pages on Mount Zhao and Zhao Town. A lot of super boring land acquisition records, land transfers, some extremely tedious data on shrine and temple history for the last 500 years, totally irrelevant to us. Lots of dull stuff on children's festivals and sports days. Just a lot of mundane information. Well, we split it up. The wife clerk took some, I took some, and I paid the elder daughter clerk to take a chunk. And this is what we've learned. I've split it up here into the mountain, Iwa, and the castle. First we'll look at the mountain. Mount Zhao has 3 peaks. We knew that. These are their individual names. Charcoal Maker's Peak, over here. Amida Peak, that's a Buddhist term, Amida. And Zhao Peak, also a Buddhist term. We learned that there used to be a temple on top of Amida Peak. Now that temple would have held, it did hold, the history for the area. It burned down in 1553, and all that history was lost. All history before 1553. Or 1554, I guess. Amida Peak used to be called Duozan. Duozan means Snake or Dragon Lord Mountain. Why does that sound familiar? Well, mainly because the prefectural forest manager up at Mount Hiba thinks that the Hibagon, your Japanese Bigfoot, came out of the Snake or Dragon Lord Mountain up there. And I was looking at the very same place for different reasons. So this middle hump here was also called Snake or Dragon Lord Mountain. Iwa. There is a shining stone, Hikari Iwa, under the Amida Peak. It shines in the moonlight when it is wet. Well, is that singular or plural? Stone or stones? This is an enduring frustration with me, with Japanese. The way this is written, it's unclear. It could be singular or plural. My mind immediately went to these Iwa. Iwa means boulder and megalith. They're under the Amida Peak, and there is a temple here called Iwayama Temple. The earliest name for the whole mountain, we knew this already, was Iwayama, Boulder Mountain or Megalith Mountain. We were snooping around there last summer, you might remember. I tried to take photos of them yesterday on my way home from this pedestrian bridge. And again, this morning from the Agricultural Research Center. Got some lovely pics this morning, but not quite the right angle. I think the best angle might be from the top of the Catholic school, because you could get above all these wires, maybe up in the bell tower. But this was from the pedestrian bridge, and hello. We saw a cut like that at the bottom last year. Never saw that one at the top. These were done by the Buddhists, I think, so they're not all that old. I think they're for candles or oil lamps, but what do I know? This right-hand stone weeps. It weeps water from here. Very weird rock formation. I've never seen anything like it. The left side has this creepy basin. I shouldn't use judgmental language like that. And it's fed by this water collection line up here. And there's this creepy cave underneath the rock. I don't know what's going on with these rocks. They look natural, but they also look a little bit carved, a little bit shaped to match. There's nothing else like them. And here they are, just standing side by side. Are these the shining stones, plural? Or could this be the shining stone, singular? This man-made cliff is also under the Amida Peak, and I think it's more in line with the moon in the sky. Could that very top tier be something like the mirror stone over at Senkoji Temple in Onomichi? Would anyone be willing to help me find the best nights and times to go out and check these things? If it's not too late at night and the weather is good, I'll go out, take some photos. Okay, that's all we get on megaliths. A name, shining stone, a function or property, but no location or clear identification. But we'll figure it out. I'll tell you tomorrow what we learn about the castle, finally, on page 188. Elder girl clerk hit on it just today, just this afternoon, and good timing, because it confirms what we found on Sunday on the ground. And I'm glad it came in this order, because it means that we weren't influenced by the information on Sunday. But what we find in the shopping bag of documents supports, and only supports, what we found in real life on the mountain. So, good. Mailbag. Someone asked if I had any castle stones in my garden, and I do. Yes, I do. In my megalithic outdoor kitchen, I have this one. It just appeared one morning in the park, at the base of the slide, of all places. Imagine a little kid shooting down the slide and smacking mouth first into this big granite block. Well, I took it home, and now it's my campfire stool. You can see where the firestorm from the firebombing of Fukuyama scorched it. This is my stick breaker here. You got a stick that's too thick to break by hand. You just put it in here and give it a pull and it'll break. And this is my kitchen counter. David makes the excellent point that this could be a cistern, not a well. And that's an excellent thought there, David. A cistern makes much better sense than a well. And what do you do with your cistern or well whenever you're done with your castle? You fill it in. That's right. You fill it in with trash, maybe some human waste. You deny any potential enemy that advantage of using your well or cistern. So I think you may be right, and I've updated the checklist. That's looking pretty strong, I think. And Smorgasbord makes the excellent point that our megalith bears more than a passing family resemblance to this megalith that we saw last November on Mount Heba, and it certainly does. It looks like if it wasn't done by the same hand, it came out of the same design house or someone working off the same blueprints. So Smorgasbord is sending me back there to take a compass reading. Gotta do it. I've been reviewing those photos from Jinseki last week and finding more in them, so we'll talk about that. And I have to tell you what the Japanese are doing, what they've started doing to our megalith. This really shocked me on Sunday. Now, some of you are going to laugh about it. Some of you are going to cry. I wanted to cry and maybe throw up a little, but I also laughed wryly, bitterly. Yeah.